Now then, welcome back to another one. 40mm seems to have become a very popular focal length for street photography, for general walk-around photography, and it sits right in between the even more popular 35mm and 50mm. Now, Micro Four Thirds has the Lumix 20mm f1.7, which is incredibly popular. Sony has their own 40mm f2.5, which is also very popular, and Nikon has a 40mm f2. Now, Viltrox has entered the game, making their own 40mm f2.5 for Nikon Z mount. Okay, so let's have a look what's in the box, let's have a look around the lens, and then we'll get to the fun part, the images. Alright, so in the box we have the warranty card, a user manual / spec sheet, a nice soft pouch for keeping the lens in, and of course the lens itself. The lens consists of 10 elements in 6 groups, has an aperture range of f2.5 to f16 and has 7 aperture blades. It has a focus range of 34 centimeters or 1.1 feet to infinity. Autofocus is controlled by a stepper motor and it's all internal focusing, so no extending or rotating front elements. The autofocus in photo mode is nice and fast, and in video mode it performs brilliantly with both face and eye tracking. The lens is very light at only 180 grams and has a 52mm filter thread and a USB connection at the base for firmware updates. Alright, let's have a look at the important bit, the images. The weather has been grim at best for about the last 2 weeks. Actually, come to think about it, it's been like since October, but that's, you know, that's the UK for you. Needless to say, it's been difficult getting out when it hasn't been raining or rain has been imminent, so I just said balls to it and I went out and I got some shots. And so the moody nature of the images you've just seen isn't anything to do with the lens, it's everything to do with Yorkshire. Now this is a solid lens, and on a camera like this, the Nikon Z, which is terrible when it comes to ergonomics, it still feels nicely balanced. It's not a heavy lens, which was great. It was lovely and sharp right across the frame with only a slight fall off towards the corners, and surprisingly I didn't encounter any nasty fringing on the high contrast areas, even at f2.5. Normally on branches against a bright sky, that's normally where you would see this fringing, but here, nothing, and I didn't encounter it on any of the images I took. Now there is a little bit of distortion, but if you use Lightroom for your editing, there's already a lens profile, correction profile in there for this lens, so bonus. Now it does exhibit some flaring against strong light sources, but it does produce some quite nice sun stars when stopped down a little bit. Don't know what that is. Now, there are only really two negatives I found with this lens. Number one being it isn't stabilized, but it's unsurprising at this price point, and neither is the Nikon one for that matter. But I don't think it's something that's terribly important on a lens that is reasonably wide. The second point is that there is no environmental sealing on this lens, which kind of sets it apart from the Nikon. Now, I say kinda because while Nikon do claim dust and moisture resistance, there is some fine print. It states that their lens isn't guaranteed to be dust and drip resistant in all situations and under all conditions. So to me that says don't take it out in the rain and be shocked if it dies. The Viltrox 40mm f2.5 is available for Nikon Z mount only at the moment, and it comes in at around £165. There is a link to the Viltrox store in the description below. Alright, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.